She has given me that inevitable thing of prepare.
So, you want to make sure you have something that you're at least doing so she doesn't say anything to you.
It's almost like she's taken my whole family back into the Xavier family.
She gave you the resources to be successful. She's just like, go, 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 go.
That is Sister Rose.
Men's basketball players coming in from the backgrounds that many of them come in from, which are tough backgrounds often enough. And here's this little pint-sized nun, excuse me, and then all of a sudden they fall in love with her.
I saw guys that were not going to class, and how she handled them, I never wanted to be treated like that.
Just the contact with the athletes, realizing all that the athletes on the different teams that we had, 18 different teams, all that they give of themselves to help Xavier's team win, which really redounds to our fame as Xavier, I found incredible.
Her role is proving to everybody that there's somebody out there that's capable of helping a bunch of athletes and a bunch of guys who have such a tough schedule and a tough lifestyle.
She's been instrumental when it comes to recruiting visits. When a recruit and their family are going to see Xavier for the very first time, one of the first people they meet is Sister Fleming, and that's always a good thing, given that we sell getting your education here more than we sell the basketball part of it.
Many of them thought that perhaps basketball came first, and she had to help them understand that education came first.
For the most part, she was just interested in a great deal in studying. So my relationship with her was she did a lot of studying and I didn't.
Roseanne's religious identity is the part of her personality or soul, better word there, that integrates everything else.
Roseanne and I unfortunately saw our mother's death when we were about 8 or 9 or 10 years old, something along those lines. I remember how we felt when my father came back, and we both were putting our arms around my father, and we were all crying about it.
He had promised my mother that when she was dying that he would make sure for her that both my brother and I got through college, and so he did. I went to the College of Mount St. Joe, boarded there for 4 years, but he had become firm in my decision to enter the Sisters of Notre Dame.
She's just a tremendous Christian, and she lives those values every single day. She doesn't just talk about them.
Peace. Peace.
Hey, sister,
Peace.
I think that her faith identity is really it's her motor, more or less. It's what gives her passion. It focuses and directs all the rest of her gifts.
I knew she was all in. When I first met Sister, I knew she was all in.
You knew you could lean on her, and if you had an issue, you would go to her and just be honest with her.
I had been teaching for probably 20 years, and an opportunity was offered to me to become president of Trinity College in Washington, D.C. When my time was up, I came back to Cincinnati.
Then this position became open.
I went into the room they gave me, and someone knocked on the door and said, "There's a phone call for you." It was Father Charles Curry, and he said, "Come to Xavier." I still remember it. And I said, "Well, Charlie, I have to talk to my superior. What would I do at Xavier? I want to teach." And he said, "Well, I have a place for you. I've just been named president of Xavier, and I'd like to have you on my staff."
And it was just a kind of a natural, blend of her skills and talents, her experience in higher ed, her religious convictions.
When Sister came in, first thing I said was, I don't know how she's going to keep these athletes in class. I realized that, you know what, she's got a different approach. Her approach is consistent. It's going to be, you're going to do it my way or you're going to do the highway.
Me and Sister, we had a great relationship.
I remember years ago, Jamal Walker, "Jamal, you're coming with me. We got study hall."
So that put more emphasis on, you better pick it up.
I can't help but think that there's a whole lot about Roseanne that's inspirational.
All the people gathered around him and sat down, and he began to teach them.
I don't think there's anybody that gets up earlier on our campus and probably off our campus than Sister Fleming. From what I've told, she gets up between 4 and 4:30 in the morning. She then works out. I know she also likes to do a little bit of a stair climber.
Let's get our body ready for this workout by warming up.
It's reached legendary status here at Xavier.
She's unlike people that many of our student athletes ever would have met in their life.
She's the biggest part of recruiting the parents, letting them know you're going to graduate when you come to Xavier.
When I came on a recruiting trip, Sister Rose essentially explained to my father and I that she was here to guide me and help make sure I did what it was needed to do to achieve the academic standards to get into medical school.
Sister Roseanne played a decisive role in their growth and development. She is a very caring person. She's always positive, but she's very determined.
So I'm really struggling finding them classes.
What are you looking for? Classes that are applicable to their degree?
Yeah, that's right. Not just excess electives.
Working with her kind of gave me a sense of responsibility. It gave me a sense that, hey, she's in charge, she knows what she's doing, and she's helping you grow up as a young man.
She was there to see that athletes were doing their work.
She made sure she called you.
Now, I've been in the dorms trying to get some sleep early in the morning, and somebody's phone's ringing 35 times. You knew what it was.
Derek Strong. He's one of my favorite people. Teachers would stop by the office and tell me, like, I haven't seen Derek for a while. You know, you better do something. So one day, I thought, I am not going to put that phone down until I get hold of him. So I started counting. It rang 60 times, and all of a sudden, went off, just like expired. So I dialed immediately again, let it ring for another, went past 60 this time. It went to 69, and he picked it up. That was the 129th ring that he had to listen to.
She put you in a situation where you couldn't tell her no, and you didn't want to disappoint her.
She also has a life outside of Xavier.
She's got just about every degree known to man, you know? One of them is a law degree, and one of the things that she spends her time doing is pro bono legal aid work for people who can't afford lawyers.
She's always around and she's always doing the right thing.
Sister Rose has been the standard. She has always been here.
She was just the one person who really played the key role in their success here at Xavier.
Xavier will improve to 4-1 in the Big East.
You see just academic All-American after All-American after All-American.
And it's because of all kinds of things. It's her dogged persistence. It's the way she has of reaching out to students.
She came in with this sense of making everything easy for you. You know, you had to go get your classes, you had to be on time. She made it much easier.
Given all the opportunities I have had in terms of my education, I could be of some help to them. So you're going to play as far as you can. Mm-hmm. And then what's after that?
I don't know, just maybe coaching or something.
Be wonderful. Yeah. You come back here and do an internship maybe.
Possibly, maybe.
I was at Woodward High School for more than a decade. And when I started there as an athletic director, you know, I took her influences and I started an academic study program.
She has a real passion for student athlete success.
Hey, Jalen, wonderful.
And has learned an enormous amount along the way about the psychology of a student athlete, because you really need to know that in order to know how to help them be successful.
Supporting you in the stands and supporting you in the classroom is two things that you're going to need to graduate. And what Sister has been done has put that consistency in that job.
Because she believes that any student can succeed if he or she works at it.
I think for some guys it was more like, I think she was more of the mother figure that a lot of the guys didn't have.
They recognized something in Sister that they didn't have, or perhaps they had not seen before.
Me and another athlete, student athlete, we decided to say, well, we're going to take our class, and you know that'll be an easy A. Took a class, you know, obviously it's Saturday, I think probably 8 in the morning, you got to be there. After 3 hours or whatever, 2.5 hours, she gives you a break. Why did she give us a break? We decided to say, well, that's Sister. She saw us. We ain't coming back. Guess what happens? Till coaches find out, Sister finds out, we get up, we have to run 6 in the morning, and and we also get a C in the class rather than an A. To think that you can do that knowing that, like, she's not going to find out, like, yeah, right.
She had a way with faculty. She had great rapport with faculty. But she had a way of talking to them and saying, oh, you do want to see them succeed, don't you? Just as I. And by the time they finished talking, she would have gotten the assignments they needed, or they would have worked out a schedule for that particular student.
How important is Sister Roseanne to the graduation rate? Well, man, we don't have the graduation rate we have if Sister Roseanne ain't here. I'll just say that flat, you know, I'll just say it.
I'm the first in my family to go to college, so that's...
And to get a degree, probably.
And to get a degree, yeah. So that's a big deal.
Yeah. You not only went to college, but you finished college. That's one.
It's 96 straight senior basketball players that have graduated from this university.
But the biggest thing, she's done it, and she's still well liked. You know, she's still loved. Everybody, when you go back, it's the first person you want to talk to a lot of time. Talk to Sister Fleming to get that sense of, hey, I'm doing what you told me to do.
Sister always made it a point to make sure that we focused on the totalness of who we are as human beings and not just, basketball players. She's a valuable resource, for me to this day.
Alumni of our men's basketball team come back and speak at different events, and they always pay tribute to Roseanne, always.
Once you leave Xavier, they always will welcome you back, and they'll always be here to support you. And Sister Rose represents that as much as any part of this institution.
And that's, I think, why she gets up every morning, again, to serve them in any way that she can. The student athletes mean everything to Sister and always have. How many universities around the country have a high major basketball program that has literally graduated every senior since she came to Xavier?
My proudest moment was seeing her after I graduated, coming up and giving me a hug and saying, job well done.
To me, I think we bring Sister a ton of joy, regardless if we win or lose. She always has that huge smile on her face. Whenever we come to the locker room, she's always one of the first people that we see.
She isn't the kind of person to retire.
Roseanne has miles to go before she sleeps, like the poem says, and it's always going to be up and going until she literally cannot put one foot in front of another anymore. So, and then we'll probably carry her to the thing that she has to do next, right? Because she's going to want to be there doing it. So,
I've been really happy to be at Xavier. It was a place that kind of fit my my desires for my religious life and my desires to serve others, and particularly the students in terms of teaching and advising.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first academic advisor, first nun, and first point guard to never pass, dribble, or score in a game is now part of Xavier basketball history.
I'm glad that the school can recognize somebody like Sister. I'm glad that we can do it in an event where everybody can see and everybody can show that we love Sister just as much as she loves Xavier.
It's incredible for her to have her jersey retired. She doesn't even have a jersey. And for it to be retired says a lot about the impact that Sister Fleming's had for so many years here at Xavier.
We are known around the country because of Sister.
The term came from Sean Miller. Sean said, she is the point guard.